Welcome to Miss Rowe Classroom. Today, we'll discuss the poem The Tale of Custard the Dragon by Ogden Nash. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. The Tale of Custard the Dragon is a playful, light-hearted ballad with a humorous moral on true courage versus false boasting. Belinda and her pets, a kitten Ink, a mouse Blink, and a dog Mustard, tease a dragon named Custard. While the others boast of their bravery, Custard admits he is a coward and longs for a safe cage. One day, a pirate breaks into their house. To everyone's surprise, Custard bravely fights, defeats, and eats the pirate, while the so-called brave pets run away in fear. Although he shows great courage, Custard remains modest and continues to refer to himself as a coward. The poem highlights true bravery, humility, and the folly of boasting. Let's begin with the line-by-line explanation of the poem. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse, and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon, and a Relio Trulio little pet dragon. Belinda is introduced as the main character living in a small white house. She shares a home with a black kitten, a grey mouse, a yellow dog, and a red wagon. Unusually, she also has a pet dragon, described in childlike rhythm as Relio Trulio, which playfully stresses its reality. The invented words are an example of poetic license, a freedom poets take to bend language creatively. Ogden Nash often employs this technique, as seen later with spellings like window, which makes the rhymes flow more easily and humorously. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward and she called him Custard. The names of Belinda's pets are revealed. Ink is named after its black color, Blink after its tiny movements, and Mustard reflects its sharpness. The irony lies in the fact that these names do not truly reflect their characters. Custard, though fierce-looking, is timid and cowardly, hence his soft name. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth, and spikes on top of him and scales underneath. Mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and Relio Trulio daggers on his toes. The poet describes Custard's frightening appearance. He has sharp teeth, spiky scales, and a fiery mouth like a fireplace. His nose is compared to a chimney, and his claws are as sharp as daggers. Despite his fearsome appearance, the poet reminds us that Custard is actually a timid and cowardly creature at heart. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Belinda is said to be extremely brave, her courage compared to a barrel full of bears. Ink and Blink are described as daring enough to chase lions. Mustard, the dog, is compared to a furious tiger, showing his boldness. In contrast, Custard the dragon wants safety and begs for a nice safe cage, proving his timidity. Everyone is described as extremely brave in exaggerated comparisons. The humor lies in overstatement. It sets up irony later when they all run away. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the Relio Trulio cowardly dragon. Belinda often teased Custard by tickling him mercilessly. Ink, Blink, and Mustard mocked him by calling him Percival, a knightly name to make fun of his lack of courage. All of them laughed at Custard while sitting in the little red wagon. The stanza illustrates how Custard was ridiculed by everyone for being perceived or coming across as cowardly. In stanzas 5 and 6, the others mock Custard. Percival is a reference to Sir Percival, a legendary knight from King Arthur's tales. The line adds depth. The bravest knight's name is given to the dragon, who is considered cowardly. Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said "Week," which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Belinda laughed so much that her laughter shook the house. Blink the mouse also expressed laughter in his own way. Ink and Mustard teased Custard further by mockingly asking his age. Sometimes our friends, peers, or siblings mock or tease us the same way. We are asked how old we are or if we are a kid when we feel a little fearful or apprehensive. Meanwhile, Custard, being the cowardly Custard, asked for the safety of a cage. The peaceful scene was interrupted by a frightening noise. Mustard the dog sensed danger and growled. Ink cried, and Belinda exclaimed in fear. A pirate was spotted climbing through the window, bringing real danger into the house. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, when leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. The pirate was heavily armed, holding a pistol in each hand. He also carried a shining sword between his teeth. He looked fierce with a black beard and a wooden leg. His appearance made it evident that he had evil intentions, which only added to the comical tension of the situation. The sudden entrance of the pirate is absurd and comical. Pirates, usually found at sea, appear here climbing a window without any motivation. The exaggerated description of his weapons add to the cartoonish humor. Belinda paled and she cried, "Help, help!" But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little Mouse Blink strategically mouse-holed. Belinda turned pale with fear and cried out for help. Mustard, who claimed to be brave, ran away, yelping in terror. Ink the kitten slipped away quickly to hide at the bottom of the house. Blink the mouse ran into his mousehole to save himself. The stanza shows that in the face of real danger, all the brave ones abandoned Belinda, highlighting the humor in their cowardice. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. With a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. Custard, who was mocked as a coward, suddenly sprang into action. He snorted fiercely like a powerful engine. His tail struck the ground like the sound of heavy chains in a dungeon. With loud, violent movements, Custard attacked the pirate. The poet compares his swift attack to a robin pouncing on a worm, showing speed and determination. Irony reaches its peak. Those who boasted of bravery hide, while Custard, called a coward, proves to be the true hero. Here students need to understand Nash's message. Real bravery is revealed in action, not in words. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. The pirate was shocked to see a dragon confronting him. In panic, he drank some grog or alcohol from his flask. He tried to defend himself by firing 2 bullets, but both missed their target. Custard overpowered him completely and swallowed him whole. The supposed coward proved himself to be the true hero. Belinda embraced him. Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Ink and Blink in glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. After the pirate was defeated, Belinda hugged Custard in gratitude. Mustard licked him affectionately as a sign of praise. None of them felt sorry for the pirate, since he was a threat. Ink and Blink danced around joyfully, celebrating Custard's victory. For once, the dragon was admired and treated like a hero. But presently, up spoke Little Dog Mustard. I would have been twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We would have been 3 times as brave, we think. And Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. After the danger was over, Mustard tried to save face. He claimed he would have been twice as brave if he hadn't been nervous. Ink and Blink also joined in, saying they would have been even braver. It reveals their tendency to boast, even after fleeing in fear. Custard humbly accepted their claims. He did not boast about his bravery, despite having saved them all. His modesty highlights his true noble nature, in contrast to the others' false bravado. Belinda still lives in her little white house, with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse, and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon, and her Relio Trulio little pet dragon. The poem ends by circling back to the opening image. Belinda continues her life in the same little white house, surrounded by her pets and her red wagon. Custard the dragon is still with them, described again in the same playful words, Relio Trulio. The musical repetition of the term Relio Trulio shows that life has returned to normal, although Custard's true worth has been revealed. The poet reminds us of the pet's supposed bravery once more. Belinda is again compared to a barrel full of bears, showing her boldness. Ink and Blink are described as so fearless that they could chase lions. Mustard is likened to a raging tiger, emphasizing his courage. But Custard, despite having defeated the pirate, still asks for a nice safe cage. The comical, ironic ending reinforces Custard's humility and pokes fun at the boasting of the others. In stanzas 13 to 15, after Custard's victory, the others return to boasting, and Custard humbly agrees with them. The humor lies in the cycle repeating. Nothing changes, even though reality has proved otherwise. Let's move to the analysis of the poem. First, structure, uniqueness and tone. The poem has 14 quatrains and 1 sestet. The poem resembles a parody, playfully imitating the style of serious works to create humor. Here, Ogden Nash imitates the traditional heroic ballad, which usually tells tales of brave knights, battles, and noble deeds. Instead of brave heroes, we get pets boasting of courage but running away, while the timid dragon turns out to be the real hero. The tone is light-hearted, playful, and humorous. It uses exaggeration, irony, and comic description to entertain. Though comical, it carries a gentle moral about true courage and humility. Next point is rhyme. The poem is written in rhyming couplets, AA, BB, except the 13th quatrain or stanza. The regular rhyme scheme gives it a sing-song quality. Repetitive words like Relio Trulio add rhythm, humor, and a childlike charm. Third point is theme of the poem. The poem highlights the contrast between appearance and reality. Those who claim to be brave fail when real danger arrives. Custard, mocked as a coward, shows true bravery through action, not words. The poem conveys that genuine courage is revealed in difficult situations, while boasting means little. It also reflects on humility. Even after his victory, Custard remains modest, unlike the others. the poem is a humorous tale with a moral. True heroism is often hidden beneath modesty and self-doubt. Coming back to the poem, The Tale of Custard the Dragon is a humorous ballad. A ballad is a narrative poem in rhyme and rhythm. Humor is shown through irony and exaggeration. Pets boast bravery but actually run away from danger. Custard, called a coward, defeats the pirate. Custard also stays humble while others return to bragging. To conclude the explanation, the tale of Custard the Dragon demonstrates that real bravery is shown in action, not in words. While the others only pretend to be brave, Custard defeats the pirate and stays humble. The message is that true courage and modesty are more valuable than boasting. We have finished explaining the Class 10 poem, The Tale of Custard the Dragon. Please visit our reference website, misroclassroom.com. In the next session, we'll analyze the poem For Anne Gregory by William Butler Yeats. If you enjoyed the content, ask questions, subscribe, like, and share the video. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Bye-bye.